Great. Eric de Turskheim, very nice to have you back here. You very nearly won this race in 2015, and then the weather gods have had another go today, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, it was completely different from 2015. 2015, we had a tough first start, with 40 knots right up out of Sydney. And then zilch here when we got there. This time it was very complicated on the weather forecast. Models were completely wrong everywhere. We really had to. It was almost sort of all-time sailing when you had to see what was happening and trying to guess. We didn't guess perfectly because some of these guys guessed better than us.
So tell us a bit about the race. Where was the sort of main decisions made?
The main decisions came a little bit in the middle. Hard to say. Originally we were planning to be more west than where we ended up, and probably it was the right thing to do, to have been more west. But the weather was changing so much. We ended up with north wind, which was not expected at all. So, how it goes.
And tell us a bit about the boat. So it's an NMYD, is it? 54? Where's the boat come from? Who's built this? Who designed and built the boat?
The boat was designed by Bernard Nivelt, architect, like my previous Teasing Machine.
Yes.
He's a very well-known architect in France. He's worked a lot for in the US, in America Cup. And she was built in Valencia, in Spain, by King Marine, and it's all in carbon fiber. It's a very nice boat.
Excellent. And for many people who won't necessarily know about your extraordinary RORC record, tell us a little bit about the various teasing machines, because you've had a couple of transatlantic wins, haven't you? And I think the middle sea race last year, is that right?
That's correct, yeah.
So you get a good campaign going. Where does everybody come from on the boat?
Well, we are all French except one who is Italian. Happens. No, otherwise, it's all French. It's French speaking on board, and we race a bit everywhere, especially in Europe, in Northern Europe, in the Royal Ocean Racing Club races. We do transatlantic. We race in the Caribbean. So there is a big program of races in Europe and Caribbean for this type of boats.
And then do you have to, when you're speaking to Bernard Nivelle, I mean, that's a very big range of race types and so on. Are you trying to find a sort of a balance across all of those for the design?
When we designed the previous teasing machine was to compete in the fleet of 40 feet boat. When we designed this teasing machine was to compete against the TP52s, which are there.
Annoyingly
this time, but we beat them. We beat them in the transatlantic. We beat them effectively on the middle sea race last year. We beat them in several of the races in 2023. We were actually boat of the year in Europe at the Royal Racing Club this year. Yeah.
And what's the real sort of when's this boat at its best? Is it downwind?
No, we contrary to the TP52 are boats which have been designed to do upwind, downwind type races. So they're going to be normally stronger if it's just that. As soon as it opens a little bit, as soon as there's a bit of reaching, we are going to be probably better than them.
Yeah, right. Well, thank you very much indeed. Very nice to see you back here. I hope we haven't put you off from trying this thing again. There's got to be a win in it somewhere.
Third time lucky, no. We'll see whether I'll do a fourth time. Who knows?
Well, very nice to have you here and enjoy your time.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Cheers. Thank you, Ben. Bear with us for a moment. Glad to see you've got a beer on you anyway. That's right, get the advertising going. Laurent Pages of Teasing Machine, that was a very difficult race for you, wasn't it?
I think it was a tough race for every competitor, and still for competitors at sea, for sure.
Yeah. And were you having to make some very difficult decisions with the very variable weather conditions too, yes?
Yes, definitely. Started from Sydney with some wind situation pretty different from the models.
Yes.
And it's been lasting for a while during the race. So initial game plan for us was not exactly what we did. We could have stick to our plan, which obviously would have shown much better. But it was not an easy decision because when you see gain on your eastern side from boats to weather side and the gaining, and even it's not your game plan, you say, oh, the model is not coherent, doesn't match with what we have. We're losing that way, so let's stick to these guys and do our best out of it. Obviously, it was not the good call, and congratulations to Smuggler. But definitely, we could have done better. We didn't reassess our strategy at some point, especially second night. I think we had a good option at that time to reassess our position and to get back to something different, to change our logic.
Well, you're in good company. Caro struggled with that as well. They made a call and stuck with it, and they still got left the wrong side of the low. So I think for anybody involved in tactics and navigation, it was a very tough race to make the right call. Yeah.
It was a tough race, strategic-wise.
Yeah.
Very difficult to make the right calls.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, always a story for yacht racing, but you got to sail fast maneuvers and a lot of action, lots of actions, a lot of maneuvers, a lot of things happened.
Yeah.
Squall, slight wind.
Yeah.
Big breeze, big shifts, sea states pretty rough. So really a hard race. It's what you can expect for a Sydney Hobart, like Sydney Hobart yacht race, but definitely, I mean, we didn't face gale storm, but it was super challenging.
And racing with Eric, do you race regularly with Eric?
Yeah, actually, it's I think nearly 10 years now we're racing together.
He's a very committed owner, isn't he? He's an extraordinary race record.
Yeah, story for Eric with sailing is a matter of passion and competition. So it's an absolute pleasure to be in charge of this program and to follow Eric in these adventures and setting up the goals pretty high. We've got, all in all, a very good 2023 season.
What's next for you?
What's next for us is get back to Europe. And we will be in UK for most of the season for the RORC racing and in the perspective to prepare the Admirals Cup 2025 and at the end of the season to defend our title in the RORX Middle Sea race.
Yeah. The French are really renowned all around the world as some of the best sailors. You start very young. You've had all of the schools over the years from Glenarms and onwards. Tell us a bit about your own journey. How did you come to be racing yachts and what did you start in dinghies?
As many people on board Teasing Machine, we raced and started selling dinghies for 420, 470. And then pure regatta, match racing, inshore racing, one designs. We had a beautiful race during many years, which was called Tour de France World, which was probably the best inshore.
They raced in mum 30s and things years ago.
Exactly, probably the best inshore offshore race event and school event, if you can say also in that matter, in the world. Unfortunately, it died nearly 10 years ago for maybe some bad strategic goals, but that's another story. And when you turn 20, you've been sailing dinghies, you're doing match racing, and even at this stage I was studying law. And during my master in law, I had some proposals to start a little bit to sail as a professional, and it was a bit of a choice to make at some stage.
Law or sailing?
Exactly. So. I took the chance and I don't regret it. We got to make our dream possible, and it was
fantastic.
It was a story. Yeah.
Well done. Well, very nice to have you here. It's always brilliant having the French join us. I hope it hasn't put you off from coming back and giving it another go.
No, it's a great pleasure to be here in Tasmania. Thanks to all the organisers, to Rolex, and such a warm welcome in Hobart here.
It's like nothing else, isn't it?
It's like nothing else. It's just great to be here.
Fantastic. Well done. Enjoy your celebrations anyway. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Laurent.